Now in its 13th year, Champions of Business is firmly established as a signature annual event hosted by the Trinidad and Tobago Chamber of Industry and Commerce. It is dedicated primarily to celebrating the outstanding and exemplary contributions of Trinidad and Tobago's business leaders and so much more. To tell us about this year's event is the CEO of the Trinidad and Tobago Chamber, Mr. Gabriel Faria. Good morning, welcome, and how are you doing?
Good morning, thank you very much for having me.
So just to reflect a bit, now this event, I understand, it was originally titled the Business Hall of Fame. What led to the change, and was it just a name change?
No, what happened is that it became much broader. So Hall of Fame was critical, but then we also wanted to recognize the internationally known businesses. And again, we wanted to recognize emerging entrepreneurs. This year, we actually have a category called startups, because we're seeing so many young businesses coming into the marketplace, and we want to recognize those that are making headway, and we also want to provide some capacity building for some of these smaller businesses.
How successful has it really been in achieving this?
I think what you're seeing is that the recognition for the Hall of Fame is clear. When you hear the stories, the awardees this year, when I actually went through and looked at what they accomplished, most people would not know. It's amazing how people contribute so much, and they don't publicize it. They don't worry to announce it. And when you hear these stories, it really is amazing. What you're seeing now is internationally known has become a lot more critical, because we're looking for businesses to really make a mark on the world stage, and we have seen that happen over the years. And this year again, the winner, you go anywhere in the world and you can see the brand. We actually had a session with some of the startups, and young people with such amazing ideas, achieving so much. And again, we see the chamber as playing a critical role in helping to guide them and to support them as they enter the business world.
Tell us a little bit more about the startups. How can a young person get assistance or information?
Right. So this year, the startups, the sponsor for the startups this year was Ernst & Young. Ernst & Young actually has always been very supportive and very focused on entrepreneurs, emerging entrepreneurs. So it was a great partnership between the Chamber and EY, and we saw an excellent opportunity. This year, EY said they wanted to focus also on startups. The Chamber has also been doing it because we've been working with the business incubators. And what happens is all you have to do is actually just nominate an individual. So you can nominate any company. Once the company is nominated, you can nominate yourself, or you can nominate a company you think is doing an excellent job. It goes through a process for us to verify that the work that's been done is credible, the business is in force, it's operating. And once it goes through that process, this year we have 4 finalists. I think in startups, and 3 in emerging entrepreneurs, because we actually had a discussion with the EY team, and they could not narrow it down to 3. It's supposed to be 3.
Now, how long did this name change take place?
I can't remember offhand. I think it was probably about 5 or 6 years ago.
All right. Now, I also understand that this event plays a really important role in inspiring the emerging entrepreneurs, as you specifically said, to maintain some level of quality in business standards. Was that achieved?
Yes. I think what you see is a recognition provides a framework for people to aspire. It's, in the US, they have a term called the Better Business Bureau. I think the recognition that by doing a job well, you will be recognized. Give somebody something to shoot for. I think when you look at the Hall of Fame this year, and you look at the people that have achieved it, again, it's another aspiration. It's something that people can say, I have aspired to this.
What are some of the challenges you think are facing the business community?
It is a difficult environment, and I think uncertainty is probably one of the issues. Uncertainty and probably confidence as to what's going to happen next year. And in talking to businesses, I think the major challenge organizations have is understanding the landscape, understanding what's going to happen in the local environment, a difficult foreign exchange situation, tenuous industrial relations environment, ultimately because of that. And I think the Chamber really provides, we've decided early this year, we launched something called Business Insights, which is really training for business by business. And again, the goal for that is to provide support for businesses and for emerging entrepreneurs to really build capacity.
And how many categories does Champions of Business include? How many awards are presented in each
So
category?
we have 3 awards. Of course, we have the Business Hall of Fame,
Right.
a posthumous and someone living. And this year, we actually had quite a number of nominations. And the winners in both areas was Mr. Lal Paladi for posthumous from Pennywise.
Yes.
It was an amazing story about how he started his business actually selling on the sidewalk in Tunapuna. And they now have 11 stores. And what really was interesting was also the CSR, what they give back to the community. It was an amazing story. And we actually do a full video, and that's shown on the night. And then the other winner is Dr. Rupert Indar, Senior, from Southern Medical. And again, a story about how he started, the businesses he was in. And when you look at the business and understand that we have world-class facilities here, and he was very proud about what he has built. I think he's 90 years old and he still goes to work every day. So it really builds a level of pride. So those are our, if you want to call them our hallmark awards. Then of course we have the Emerging Entrepreneur, and Jules Sobian from Caesar's Army, and Ryan Perkins, Building Spaces, and Melissa and Mark Lund mostly from Edible Arrangements. Again, different businesses, but people who are really emerging, have done things. And we've had over the years, we've had a number of emerging entrepreneurs, and you've seen them continue to grow. And it's really rewarding to see that the environment provides a framework for people to grow. It shows how people can succeed in sometimes what could be a difficult environment. This year, the startups, again, interesting stories. A young lady doing a brand of kefir, a very niche product, and in less than a year, she's in a number of stores. She sold the brand. The product looks excellent. The packaging.
What is kefir?
Kefir is actually a product you use for to balance your digestive system.
Okay.
And again, a niche product, but well packaged, very, very well designed. I actually tried the product. It's a very good product. Then another company called Twigs, Nigel Jordan and Cheryl Ann Batiste. Again, boutique teas, excellent product, great packaging. A designer group, Shoma Prasad and Toby Gill. And then a company that does juices, Sweet Beet Juice Company.
Yes.
And again, the quality of the product, the standard, the passion of these young people. So it's an amazing night when you can see someone that's 90 years old winning an award, and someone that's probably in their 20s, and it's great to see them talking to each other, and the older people trying to understand or trying to see the business, because the environment's changing. Technology normally plays a large part also. When you look at some of our winners this year, we were not as driven in technology as I expected, but it shows that while technology is the way of the future, it shows that normal consumer goods product, fast-moving consumer goods product, is still here to stay. So
that's something that you noticed. Technology wasn't really on the rise this time.
I'm sure it was on the rise. I think what we have to accept is that we are driven by the people who are nominated, or who provide nominations. So when I looked at it, I've seen a lot of technology companies, and I'm seeing a lot of apps and a lot of designs happening. But this year we didn't get nominated for them. And I think what you're seeing really is you're seeing they're still finding their footing. And I'm sure if not next year, very soon, you'll see a lot more technology-driven businesses.
Now, a lot of research would have gone into actually selecting or nominating individuals, and you mentioned that full videos are done to play on that night.
Right.
Could you tell us a little bit about how long that process takes in terms of putting together this show, this event?
Oh yeah, this starts sometime in May when we start getting awards. We actually have 2 separate panels of very well-known business people that will sit and review the nominations, and we go through quite a process of selection. And sometimes it's difficult because there's so many people, and I remember when the person from EY was talking to me, it says, we cannot bring it down to 3. Each of these 4 people have really added value. In our case, again, it's difficult because there's people who have done so much. And some people have run public companies and achieved so much. This year, what intrigued, I think, the panel was people that started so small and built businesses. And I think this year that's what we saw, that's how we focused. And as you go through, when you look at our awardees, we've gone from Joseph Charles, who created Solo, we've got Helen Bhagwan Singh. So we have such a wide range, of course, Anthony Sabga. So you have so many awardees that span such different business types, have achieved so much in different areas that it's really sets the tone of how successful business people are in Trinidad.
And you also have a Winning Women Award.
We actually had a Winning Women Award last year. We didn't have one this year, I don't think.
Okay. Are there any others that we need to chat about? The
No,
entrepreneur?
those are basically, it is the startups, emerging entrepreneurs, and the Business Hall of Fame. Those are the 3 areas we're focused on this year. And what we have this year, we're actually going to have the finalists. So those 4 finalists are going to come in on the 11th at Napa. We're going to run the videos of all 4, and then we'll identify the winner. Same thing for emerging entrepreneur. The way we do it for Hall of Fame is we go through the process of selection before, so the winner is known before.
When exactly is this event?
This is November 11th. It's at Napa. This year is the first year we're having at Napa. And the stage is amazing. The screen's going to be huge, so you're going to see some amazing videos. It starts at 6:30 and goes to 8, so that's the award ceremony. And then after that, we have a cocktail reception in the lobby. And it's an opportunity to network and meet people. So many young people just attend younger businesses so they could get a chance to speak to someone, to speak to Dr. Inda, or to speak to Mr. Paladi's son, who now runs Pennywise, to talk and to hear about the business. Because when you see the videos, that sparks further discussion.
Closing comments as we wrap this interview. Anything you'd like to add? Anything that we need to know?
This year, our internationally known was Bermuda's Biscuit Company.
Yes.
And again, it gives you pride when you see Trinidadian companies and you go into Toronto, you go into London, or you go into any major city and you see Trinidad brands. So I think that's another group that we see more and more focus being placed on, because while the concept initially is focusing on products, we're seeing more and more companies exporting their capacity, exporting technology, exporting services. And we've seen a number of companies come in and say, oh, we're doing work in Bermuda, but it's our human capital that is able to compete internationally. And it shows not only in the products we produce, but the quality of service that we have.
Mr. Faria, thank you so much for your time and the work that you're doing.